What do they believe? I mean, do they actually believe in what that they're fighting fascism? Have they been that far gone brainwashed that they believe, and they've got no concept of history, or is this something different than what we're seeing?
Well, a lot of these guys are, I think many of them are deluded. They're mindless. I know that at Berkeley, the conservative students tell me that one way that the Antifa movement is hounding speakers off campus is they just go down to Oakland and they get all these gangs to come onto campus. They give them these Antifa signs. These are just social misfits and people who want to cause trouble or get into a fight. So, I think to me, that's the fascism on the street. Now, more dangerous is the fascism of the institution. So, for example, this guy, Jesse Aragon, who's the mayor of Berkeley, he's a member of one of the Antifa Facebook groups. He was apparently the guy who asked the cops to stand down to, quote, give Antifa room to maneuver, i.e., to beat people up. So I'm much more worried about the fascism of people who have badges, who have authority, who are in the university or in the media or in the police or in political positions of power. The fascism of the institutions is more dangerous than the fascism of the street.
And ultimately, yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I see this academia, the infiltration of academia, and I look at this, and I think we talked about this last time. Or what we see, or is what we're seeing in terms of the academia, is that the fulfillment of years upon years of infiltration? Are we seeing the Bernardine Dorn and Bill Ayers of yesteryear marching on the streets now filling the seats of our universities and pumping this out? Or is it even worse than that?
Well, part of it is the radical takeover of the universities, and conservatives have been very naive. I mean, focusing almost exclusively on political elections and not recognizing that while this is going on, the left has captured many of the big megaphones of our culture, not just academia, but also the public schools, the media, the whole field of entertainment, not just Hollywood, but Broadway, the music industry, the world of comedy, and so on. So, yes, I think that this has now become a very serious problem. And also, the left has an ability to take its thugs and make them into martyrs. By the way, the Nazis did that too. There was a Nazi brown shirt named Horst Wessel, who was essentially known for beating up people and getting into bloody fights. But when he was killed by a communist, the Nazis wrote a song to him, the Horst Wessel song, which became kind of the Nazi party anthem. And similarly, I see in America and in the West how thugs like Che Guevara or Bill Ayers, who's part of the Weather Underground, somehow these guys are transmuted from violent thugs into ideological martyrs and heroes.
Interesting. All right. One thing I do like about your book, and I don't want to jump ahead, but I know we're limited on time here, and you're so kind to give us your time this evening because I do know that you're extremely busy. Um, One of the things I really love about this is you actually show us how to deconstruct or denazify. You've got a chapter of denazification, for example, and you give examples of on how we can fight back. Getting rid of Obamacare, for example, repealing Obamacare and the Dodd-Frank Act and other things. Can we overcome? Oh, I suppose we can, but do you think will we overcome the threat that we face, the peril to our republic that we face?
Well, certainly, I think we can, and I hope that we will. And I think that the more that we put ourselves to the wheel and use our influence, the better it's going to be. I've been a writer and speaker for most of my career, but I've pivoted now to also making movies. Why? Because a book can be read by 100, maybe 200,000 people, and that's a lot. But a movie is going to be seen by 3 to 5 to 10 million people. That's just a completely different level of influence. Similarly, for the ordinary guy in your, sitting at home, you think, well, gee, what can I do? I only have 50 friends on Facebook. Well, yeah, but those guys have 50 friends on Facebook. So you have a kind of a multiple, an ability to multiply your influence if you actually exercise it. So I urge people to be informed. I think if they read my book, they'll become what I call a very dangerous American because you'll be able to, in a sense, take away not only the race card but the fascism card from the left.